I want to welcome my guest, TICO Wells. What's up, TICO?
Hey, brother, how you doing, man? Thanks for having me on.
Man, thanks for being on the show, man. When I told people I was going to have you on the show, man, my chat line just lit up, man, because Five Heartbeats was one of the movies, man, that folks just love. And I was telling them a second ago, every time they come on the TV today, I still watch it.
I love it. I love it.
I had the pleasure of going to the documentary. Robert did a documentary on the movie, and I was over at Magic Johnson Theater in L.A., and I was able to check it out. I had a chance to meet Robert. I interviewed Hawthorne James. I'm trying to get a couple more of the cast to come on the show as well, man. So it's a pleasure to have you here. Man, how did that movie affect your life? I know how it affected my life. How did it affect your life?
Oh, man, it's still affecting me, you know. Wow. You know, it's like the little engine that could. It just keeps on growing and growing and growing. It actually started off as a disappointment because the first weekend they pulled it like right after the first weekend. And
what?
Yeah, so we were heartbroken. And
wow.
Then it started playing at the Dollar theaters back in '90, and then drive-in movies, and then the DVD came out, and then that gave it a little life. And then it started playing on TV, and then DVDs came out, and the few people who had Blu-ray, and so it just kept growing. Just kept growing and growing and growing, and next thing you know, it was like every year, every so many months, it's on television, it's on BET. Then we had our 5-year anniversary, then our 10-year anniversary, and then our 15-year anniversary. Let's see, I think it was a 10-year anniversary. Monique had us on her show. BET, and then we did the BET Awards, and with After 7, and then it was 15 years, and then this year we celebrated. Wait a minute, I'm talking about. Wait a minute, man. No, Monique was 20. That was our 20th anniversary. This right now is our 30th.
30th.
Yeah. Because I didn't have all this when I started.
Right. Can you really sing, man?
Yeah, I can sing a little bit. Yeah, man.
Okay. Can you dance?
You saw me on screen.
I ain't mad at you. One of my guys in the chat room said, he reminded me you were on the Cosby Show as well, right?
Yeah, I was.
What else
that was a great experience of my life, man. Everybody in New York in the 80s wanted to be on that show. Particularly if they were black, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I auditioned 4 or 5 times and finally got a shot.
Okay. How long you been acting, man? That your passion?
It's one of them.
What's your other
one? Health and wellness. Love music. I play a lot of djembe right now, African drum.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Sing, drum. Used to write a lot of music in the 80s. I haven't written too much lately, but still been performing, but mostly djembe.
Djembe, I'm not familiar with djembe.
It's an African drum.
Oh, yeah?
It's shaped like, goes in and straight bottom.
Oh, yeah, I have seen those. Okay.
Yeah.
Park. Yeah, okay.
That's where I'm at, man, you know. I play for African dance class down there. I'm at Venice Beach on the weekends. Sometimes I play for different dances and events.
Okay.
I love it.
What other movies have you played in lately? Are you doing any acting up right now?
I just did a movie called The Prodigal Son. Hopefully it'll be out next year.
Okay.
Or sooner.
Man.
The Prodigal Son. I play a pastor, a bishop, like a Creflo Dollar type.
Did you play a bishop in another movie also? A pastor or something in another movie before?
Yeah, they had me listed as that. I did a cameo for a friend of mine, and I was playing piano, and they put me down as pastor. But
Okay.
I don't remember.
Okay.
You know, it's the kind of thing, I don't really look at my resume every day. And the older I get, some of the experience. I did play, oh man, oh God, I'm almost gonna forget. Like, I need my resume right now. I can't think of the movie. You know, and I used to think people were pretending when they couldn't remember stuff that they had done. I'm like, yeah, they ain't really do that. They can't even remember. But you know, I'm 60 now, and certain things, man, it's like, what was the name of that movie? I can't even think of it. I did play a pastor.
I forgot records I made, man. The people tell me about stuff I made, I forget it all the time. Been
I
a little
know,
bit of
man,
time,
it's crazy.
Yeah, getting old is a beautiful thing, but it has its pitfalls.
It's a trip, man. It's a trip, you know, because like the 5 heartbeats, I stay the same age. But in real life, man, it's like it just keeps on rolling. I'm grateful though. I'm very grateful. I have a beautiful life, man. And
did you audition for the movie, or you kind of knew Robert or something? How'd you go about getting that part?
No, it was like a cattle call type of thing where Robert came to town, and what do I want to say? Robert came to town in New York. I was living in New York, and had an audition. And I was working in Jersey at the time on a play called Spunk. And we did a lot of improv. I never saw the script. Didn't know the characters. I didn't know anything, man. All I know is Robert was doing a movie about a group like the Temptations. And so, you know, when we finished, she said to the casting lady, Jackie Brown, put him down for choir boy. I had no idea what the hell he was talking about. Wow. Really. I took that job sight unseen. I just wanted to work with Robert, and I trusted it. But at that time too, it was like, you know, earlier, you know, I was 28, 29 when I started. So, you know, I would have played a rock at that time. I would have done anything, you know, pretty much. I wanted to act. I wanted to perform. I wanted to be a star. At 60, I don't feel the same way. The movie was called Forgiveness. Forgiveness. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long? When was that?
I don't know, man. Sometime in the last 10 years or so, 5 years or so.
I thought I remember seeing you play a part of a preacher before.
Yeah. It was that was it. It was I can't, you know, it's funny, man. The mind and the memories, man. Certain things. I played you familiar with a group called Graham Central Station?
Hell yeah.
Larry Graham.
Yeah.
I played some songs by them last night, and I remembered the lyrics, and that was in the 70s, man. I can remember lyrics from the 70s. Sometimes I can't remember what I did yesterday, what I ate yesterday. That's how it's funny how the mind makes certain impressions on us, you know what I mean? And then other things just go.
You know, dude, I think I've experienced that the other day. Me and my son was in the car, and a song came on, and I was singing word for word. And it, you know, half the time I can't remember the songs that I wrote myself. But this particular song, it just flowed. I was trying to sing it, but I couldn't sing it. But one of Larry Graham, one of my favorite songs by him, man, is called "Your Love." Okay, and
you mean so much to me.
Man, come on, dude.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite songs in
kiss,
life.
Okay.
Okay. And every time it come on, I don't hear it that much, but when I hear it in my car, I'm gonna sing it every time, Doc.
Every time you leave, you're leaving me wanting.
Yeah, so get me started. I can't. You know, I want to be a heartbeat, man. You know, I got into the music business. You know, growing up as a kid, in Compton, I grew up, you know, I'm a little older than you. I'm 64. So I grew up
Oh man,
on the
please.
Temptations. Okay? Thank you, Doc. I grew up on the Temptations. I wanted to be a Temptation. I wanted to be something, but I could never sing. I never played the instrument. But when hip hop came around, it gave me a chance to fulfill one of my childhood dreams. And even then, I was in the group. I was a background player. I was the boss. I was like Harold Melvin. I wasn't really doing a whole lot, but I was running things, okay? And to watch how you guys, the things you guys went through in that movie, man, for me, I felt the same way when my first time I heard my record on the radio, the first time we did a show, the little fights we had on stage, all that stuff, man. For me as a grown man, I can relate to that shit, dude, because we did that. We did that. I mean, the girls, the shady ass managers, the little dinky ass hotels, dinky ass clubs, thinking we going someplace swank, and they ain't got a chair in the building that match.
You know, who was your favorite Temptation?
David Ruffin.
Okay.
Crazy ass David Ruffin.
I watched a documentary on them last night, man, with David Ruffin, Dennis Edwards, and Eddie Kendricks.
Okay.
And when they were getting ready to let David Ruffin go, he went over to Dennis Edwards' house that night and told him, they're going to ask you to replace me tomorrow. He said, "No, man, what? You can't leave the group, man. I'm not taking your place, man. That ain't right." He said, "Nah, man, you'd be the right person to do it." And I didn't know that till last night that David Ruffin was like an uncle to Dennis Edwards. Did you know that?
He was a what? He was
an uncle, you know, like a
I know
OG.
that. I did not know that. No.
I didn't know that, man. And they, you know, he loves him, you know. And but the crazy thing about it is, as humble as Dennis Edwards was in this documentary, he really kept the group going, man.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a smooth transition.
Yeah.
A lot of times, like the Spinners, it wasn't quite the same. The Commodores.
Felipe left. It wasn't the same, Momo.
Wasn't
man.
the same, man. You know,
it wasn't the same.
You couldn't replace Lionel Richie, man.
Right, right.
You know, you couldn't the Spinners.
Youngsters out there right now. We talking old school now, okay?
Hey, man, people, we are old school.
We talking old school, baby. I mean, this was when you had various voices that made the music, okay?
Everybody was so unique. And that was prior to the 80s. Everybody wanted to be unique.
Speaking of the 80s, it was the Dells that did you guys' voices in that did the music in 5 Heartbeats, right? Was the Dells?
Nah.
Wasn't the Dells?
Nope.
Oh, dude, come on, man. What was the Dells?
Nah.
Who was the music people behind the 5 Heartbeats did?
We had studio musicians helping us, man.
Oh, I mean, because I'd have bet the farm that was the Dells behind y'all, dude. I just, especially that one song that you got, Houses. Yeah, House of Home. That's a Dell founding song. Okay? Right. With all them different voices in there, that's a Dell founding song.
Nah.
Man, I'm glad you told me that. I've been telling people all this time, dude, the Dells. Even when I bought it.
You know, that's funny, Lonzo, you said that because I was talking to the guy who played my father in the 5 Heartbeats. He's like, he'll always be my dad, you know.
Okay.
His name is David McKnight.
Okay.
And we were having a conversation this morning. And I was saying, people sometimes feel like not knowing something plus a good hunch equals knowing.
Okay.
And I made that little statement because a teacher of mine one time said people think that being late plus a good excuse equals being on time.
Right. It's bullshit.
Yeah. So we as humans, particularly I won't even just say in this country, But and now I want to put a race to it. We have this assumption that if we think something is right, it's just as good as knowing, and that's bull. That's bull. We do that with everything, man. We don't like to research anything.
Right. I didn't research anything. I just assumed if I knew the Dale sound, that was the Dales behind the fire. I thought the story was even the Dales. I knew it was more of a Temptation type story, but I still, you know, because it sounds so much like the Dales. See, you learn something every day, folks. You learn something every day. My chat room said the same thing.
Robert hung out with them and got ideas, story ideas from them.
Okay.
And the Temps, he loved the Temps.
Right.
And he got the idea, he said, because when David Ruffin left, he was so heartbroken, which a lot of people were, you know. I'm sure there were people who, that was the end. Once David Ruffin left, that was it.
Right.
Not me, man. Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Rolling Stone.
Man, come on.
This wasn't no slouch.
No.
It wasn't no slouch. And
Shack, that's where it's at.
My boy who plays Dennis, I think they had a couple of guys, but then my other guy, Ollie Woodson.
Ollie Woodson was bad too, man.
Ollie Woodson was a bad boy
Ollie
too.
Woodson
Treat him like a lady.
Bad.
Okay.
Ollie Woodson is a bad dude, man. I met Ollie in Arizona back in '91. I was shooting a film with Jean-Claude Van Damme called Universal Soldier.
Okay.
And the Temptations were performing there. And my man, Tiny Lister, bless his heart, man, he was like, hey, man, they got you staying across the river, man, and that little small hotel, you belong over here with us. And Laughlin, Nevada is where we were.
Okay.
You ever heard of Laughlin?
Yeah, I've been there before.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a little mini Vegas, right? And the Temptations were playing there.
Okay.
And so I met Ali in the dining room one night, and they got us tickets. And Melvin Franklin,
right,
aka David English, told me he was the choir boy of the Temptations. But watching some stuff on Eddie and Dave. David. I didn't know that David came from the church from Mississippi. He was from a little town in Mississippi.
Okay.
And how articulate he was. Brother was very articulate.
Was he really?
Man, you got to see these documentaries.
I'm gonna watch it now. You told me. I'm definitely gonna watch it.
Yeah, David was very articulate.
Okay.
And Eddie was interesting. He was like, I don't give a. I'm gonna say what I need to say. And if you don't like it, that's too bad.
David had a brother also that was pretty tough.
David had a brother. David started out as the drummer before he took the other lead singer's place.
Wow.
Eddie was from Alabama, and he came up north to Ohio, and he had a group, and Otis had a group, and they put the two groups together. And then they pulled David in, but he was the drummer because they already had a lead singer.
Okay.
Eddie did the clothes, he said. He designed the clothes, then they had people make them. And I think he did some of the choreography too.
Now, you know what? I heard also that Leon got a band too, right?
Leon has like a reggae style band.
Okay. I was like, they do 5 heartbeat songs.
Yeah, I just saw them guys, man, in New York at the Tribeca Film Festival. They screened the film, and we had a Q&A after. It was beautiful, man, to see him. Hung out with Michael Wright a little bit. Eddie Kane Jr.
Eddie Kane Jr.
Yeah.
Man,
people think his name is Kane, C-A-N-E or K-A-N-E.
What is
really Eddie King Jr.
Eddie King Jr.
But he said Eddie Kane.
Man, see, I learned something. I damn sure thought it was C-A-I-N, Kane, or C-I-N-E, C-A-N-E. I see. That's some new shit we just learned, folks. You live with Lonzo.
Okay, trivia. What was Choir Boy's name?
Huh?
What was Choir Boy's name?
I couldn't tell you if you beat my butt.
Anthony Stone.
All right. Did you call yourself Rock at the award show?
Little party, yeah. And the lady whose hand I grabbed, her name is Monique Manning, and she was the original dancer who had this black veil over her face in the video for the video Kiss.
Okay.
Prince.
Oh, for Prince. Wow. Yeah. A lot of stars came out that movie, man.
Eddie Griffin was in the movie. He didn't get he didn't make the cut. That's when I met Eddie Griffin.
Okay, what did he do in the movie?
He was a comedian.
Oh, okay.
We had so many people. The movie could have been 4 hours long, man. I mean, what's his name was in it? Bebe's kids.
Robin Harris?
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he passed away while we were filming.
Damn.
Robin Harris passed away, man. Robin Harris, man, was a cat that I went to see him one time in New York, man. And I hurt my stomach literally from laughing. It was like he was a machine gun. I mean, he just kept coming out with joke after joke after joke after joke. I mean, he was great. Robin Harris was great.
Robin used to play a club here. Robin used to play my club back in the day, but he played the Comedy Act Theater a lot. And one night at the Comedy Act Theater, him and Sinbad got into it with like a battle. Dude, it was so funny. People had to run out just to get air. They could not breathe. Because between Sinbad and Robin coming back to back, you couldn't breathe. Dude, you could have robbed the joint with a swab because you could not breathe. More people just started, they would run out the door like places on fire because you couldn't breathe. You couldn't get your breath. He was like that, dude. He was a hell of a cat. He
reminded me of that dude on the corner, man, shooting craps or something.
Yeah, talking about your mama the whole time.
Talking about your mama. And he was very intimidating.
Yeah.
You know, he was an intimidating cat. Or I looked at him as that.
Good brother, though, man. I know him very well. Good brother.
He pretty much was the king of the Comedy Act, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. He was the host. He pretty much, when Robin came to the Comedy Act, put the Comedy Act on a whole new level.
Okay.
One night at the Comedy Act Theater, I always tell this story, I'm going to tell it to you. We at the Comedy Act, and Tommy Hearns was there. He had just fought Sugar Ray Leonard.
Oh, wow.
And Robin Harris had this thing. You could not go to the bathroom if he was on stage. If you went to the bathroom while he was on stage, he would clown the hell out of you, okay? And people would be sitting in the chairs holding it, okay? Waiting for Robin to get off. So Tommy Hearns got up to go to the bathroom, and Robin said, "Where you going?" Tommy like, "Man, shut up." He looked at Tommy Hearns and said, "Don't make me call Sugar Ray." Oh man, the whole place fell out. Dude, it was over. It was over, okay? Broke up. I lost you. What happened? Still can't hear you.
Hello.
There you go. Got
you. Okay.
All right. Yes, sir, man.
Sugar Ray was my idol, man, growing up.
Come on, dude. I love Sugar Ray, dude.
I grew up in Landover, Maryland.
Okay.
And he grew up down the street, a place called Palmer Park. And I used to try to imitate him all the time. Hello, my name is Sugar Ray Leonard. When I fought Tommy Hearns, you know, Tommy like to stick that jab out there, but you know, I studied him so much. I knew how great he was, and I told myself, I got to dig down. I got to really dig down to get this guy. And then when Angelo Dundee told me, "You're blowing it, kid. You're blowing it, kid," I said, "Not tonight. I'm gonna get Tommy Hearns.
Good one, Doc. I'm an old school fight fan. No disrespect to anybody that's fighting right now, but to me, those were the best fights. Those were fights, okay? They didn't box, okay? They fought. When you had a fight back in the 80s, wasn't no putting on no shades going to the after party. The after party was in the emergency room, okay? The winner may be in the hospital 2 days, okay? This is the kind of fight. There's 15 rounds back there too.
Dude, I used to work at the Sheraton Hotel in Lanham, Maryland.
Okay.
I tell them from Maryland because I say Merlin, like Merlin the magician. We always know who's not from DC and Maryland because they say Maryland. Nah, they ain't from around. So, and I used to get, it was a place where all the groups would come and stay, and celebrities would come to stay in town if they were going to perform at the Capitol Center. And so the first fight I ever went to was Sugar Ray Leonard and Davy Boy Green. Green. Okay. I had never been to a fight before. This guy gave me some tickets. And I mean, back then, people were yelling and screaming and throwing stuff. It was barbaric. I mean, it's still barbaric, but, a couple guys beating the crap out of each other. But Sugar Ray, he was something else, man. He messed up when he fought Duran the first time. He tried to brawl him, tried to go toe to toe. I'm a big fight fan. I'm a big fight fan. Too. Yeah, I'm a big Floyd Mayweather fan.
Okay.
Love Floyd Mayweather. And people who say he runs around all the time, they got to see his early career, his middle career, and then his late career. And if you study his films, Floyd never ran. Go back and look at the Pacquiao fight.
Okay.
Go back and look at any fight that he fought. Look at the Canelo fight. Look at any fight, and you tell me after watching it a second time if Floyd runs.
Okay, I'll do that.
If people think he runs, they're not a boxing aficionado.
Okay. Object is not to get hit.
Huh?
The object is to hit and not get hit.
And he perfected that.
Okay.
He perfected that. If you saw him against Conor McGregor,
right?
He came in. He came at him. He said he wanted to do that to please his fans who thought the Pacquiao fight was disappointing.
Interesting. One of my favorite fighters back in the day, man. I used to like Sweet Pea a lot. Sweet Pea, and I even like the crazy ass Aaron Pryor. Aaron Pryor was like 4'11", 5 feet, but he was taking
he wasn't that short, but he was a monster, man. Aaron Pryor was a monster, man.
We talking about some old school players now, folks. Talking about some old
and Sweet Pea had the defense. We lost him too soon. We lost Marvelous Marvin too soon.
Right. He was a tough dude, man. He was, man.
Hey, man, he beat Duran.
He beat Duran. They fought.
Convincingly.
They fought.
He beat Duran convincingly.
They fought for real, okay?
Yeah.
Dude.
And he lost to Sugar Ray.
When I saw, he think he won the Sugar Ray, but I think Sugar Ray knew how to get his points. Okay, he knew how to hit you up, beat you up, get your points.
Marvin lost a lot of time in that fight trying to stalk Sugar Ray down, and Sugar danced around, pop, danced around. He got a couple of good licks on the ropes, but he lost a lot of time.
Right.
He was a baby Joe Frazier.
Right.
Switch hitter.
Yeah.
Come at you from both sides, man.
I think the funniest fight I seen Hagler ever had when he fought Tommy Hearns, and he hit Tommy Hearns so hard, Tommy Hearns started running. Hold on, man. It was like he had to get up out the ring because Sugar Ray Leonard had Marvin was stuck him really good. He was trying to run up out the ring. That was some funny shit to me.
Tommy couldn't keep the distance, and he got Marvin early. He caught Marvin. Marvin was tough as nails, man.
Yes, sir.
Marvin was tough as nails, man. I was not a Marvin fan. because I was a Sugar Ray fan. I was not a Tommy Hearns fan because I was a Sugar Ray fan.
Amen.
I was not a Duran fan because I was a Sugar Ray Leonard fan. And he brought so much joy, man.
Right on, Doc.
You know, unfortunately, or fortunately, we as African Americans really have excelled in sports.
Yeah.
And some of us know more about sports than we know what's going on around us. And sometimes that makes me sad. And other times I'm able to say it's all in divine order. You know, this crazy life we live.
It is what it is.
But sometimes it makes me sad. You know, I think, well, blacks, why don't blacks do this? And how come we're not doing this? And why are they killing us? And I realized without leadership, it's not really going to change. There'll be more and more people getting money. We're getting in the middle class. We've got a solid middle class. And I guess we have to lead by example, like people like LeBron, you know,
right.
Amassing a lot of money. You can do things with money. You can affect change with money.
Right.
People don't really want to listen to no broke fool.
Broke leader.
Nah, they don't. They don't really.
No.
So
leader with some money.
I appreciate sports. I appreciate the arts. One time Al Sharpton and I were on a panel, and he was saying that our artists were never our leaders. And I wanted to jump up and say, man, that's some bullshit. Because James Brown was one of his mentors.
James Brown, that's right.
And James Brown made a hell of a impact on the community.
Yes, he did.
Our entertainers do make an impact. But we need that impact to go through other areas, I think. What you think about that?
Man, when we grew up, Jim Brown, Muhammad Ali, who else? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, all these cats, man. I remember seeing them on a panel. And along with Big Gregory and some other heavy cats, man. They was like
Regina King just made a movie about, I haven't seen it, but about that.
Yeah.
It happened one day in Miami or something like that.
Well, I saw that movie, man. It was pretty interesting, man. It was Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, and I think it was the brother of the singer. Damn.
I think Oscar Robert was Sam Cooke.
Sam Cooke. They were all
Ali and Sam Cooke were good friends.
Yeah, and they all were talking about various situations that they were dealing with. And Sam was talking about, they was trying to clown Sam for making so-called nursery rhyme hits. And then did the movie he made, I Was Born by the River. But I Was Born by the River, he think that was the end of the song, man. Bottom line is, everybody had an effect on everybody else in the movie. Dope movie.
You know, music has gotten us through. And I think one of the things that people resonate with the 5 heartbeats is that even though it takes place in the 60s, the same struggle is going on. Can we make it? How can we make it? How do we deal with racism? How can we try to be something positive in life? Something we can be proud of? Dealing with relationships, dealing with friendships, dealing with brotherhood. Those issues are classic issues. So Sam Cooke was a pioneer.
Yes, he
in
was.
that he was publishing his own music in those days. He was retaining his publishing. When he died, his ex-wife sold it, his whole catalog for like 100 G. We look at that today and go, what?
Yeah.
But 100 G in 1960 something was probably, well, not probably, it was a lot of money.
Yeah,
it was good money. You could stretch 100 G to a very good life in the 60s.
A lot of people.
The average person was making $8,000 a year, $5,000 a year.
Yeah.
3,000 a year. 100 grand?
A lot of people say that catalog, him owning this catalog and trying to get other artists to control that catalog they're publishing was a suspicion of why he had the untimely death in a suspicious situation.
Yeah, well, we didn't have all the cameras and stuff we have today, all the surveillance and all the internet presence. You know, the underworld operated without much opposition. And, you know, the underworld controlled a lot of Hollywood and the entertainment industry, you know.
Very true. Before we go, man, what you doing now? Where can they find you at?
I'm not really looking to be found all the time. You know what I'm saying? I know that's a common practice for this generation. Where can we find you? This part of my life, I'm looking to help people with their health.
Okay.
And it's very scary for me because I've been studying herbs and holistic healing for about 40 years now. And there's so much of what's going on right now that I'm not going to speak too heavily on it, but I'm trying to find a way to be of value as a source of information for people. Dr. Sebi was one of my heroes. So I'm trying to make the transition into how to make myself accessible at the same time, just trying to be led by the spirit of what to do, because we, as Dr. Sebi said, we didn't bring our food with us from Africa on the slave ships. So we depend on the dominant culture to tell us what the reality is, not only in the health game, but in everything. They dictate to us what reality is, and we're not taught to question it. So they can tell you there's a monster coming and he's going to be coming around the corner in 3 days, and we don't question it. Most of us don't. And it's understandable. We've been, you know, they've been our leaders for over 400 years. And so I'm not looking to be necessarily found right now in terms of anything to sell anybody. I have nothing to sell anybody but humanity, blessings. And I'm working with a very small group of people right now and learning how to be guided to make an impact on our people. And it's not necessarily just becoming a vegetarian or vegan or exercising. It's a spiritual path. It's a spiritual path, as well as having fun in this life. And maybe some of us can try to wake up and be more red pill. I was listening to Dick Gregory yesterday, and he's one of my inspirations. And he said, when God gives you these magical glasses to put on that open up your eyes, you can't take them off. And you can't force anybody else to wear them. Was that the buzzer to tell us to get off?
Yes, at the time, Doc.
All right, man. Thank you for having me, man.
Man, thank you for taking the time out and getting all the little technical difficulties out the way, folks. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for sticking with us all this time. Like I say, folks, that's the only drawback about being live. Every once in a while, you run across a little technical difficulty, but like a true player, we're going to make it happen, folks. TICO, thank you again, my brother.
Hey, man. Stay strong.
Rashard, Old School Bone, John Wick, Harden. Thank y'all, folks. See y'all next week. Peace.
People all your life for what?
Yeah.
For what? For some oohs and ahs? You know,
and a lot of times people don't understand. Like my wife went on the road with me this weekend. She did 3 days with me. We had a 3-day weekend, right? And
okay.
I said, it's been a long time she's been on the road. And I said, yeah, it's good for you to come out sometime and see what I do. You know, like when we left LA, I did the show. I had to just run straight to the car and go straight to the LA airport and jump on a plane because I had a 3 o'clock play the next day in Oklahoma City. So I'm riding on the plane all night. And when I get to Oklahoma City, it's like, we got to go straight to the gig, you know? Right. And it's like, oh, shoot, yeah. So you don't get a chance to shower, you know, trying to find some Listerine right quick and get brush it, and you know what I mean? And you know, get that little bath, you know, and head on to the gig. And then the thing about it is you got to be perfect. You know, it's like, you hit the wrong note, you forget your lines or whatever. So it's like perfection every night. You know, it's like a baseball player get to strike out. You know what I mean? You know, football player get to, you know, drop the ball every now and then, and, you know, or, you know, fumble. But you hit that wrong note, you know. I went to see him, girl. I went to see him. Yeah, he came out there.
He missed it. Yeah.
Wrong note, girl. Yeah, I was waiting on it too. I want my money back. Yeah. So it's like, you know, just trying to be perfect every night is a lot of stress on you, you know.
Lenny, I know you're 75, right?
I'm 80. I made 80. February. What the day is? What the 18th?
Yeah.
So
damn. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you and Lonzo, man, that's some good genes right there.
A month and 2 days ago, I made 80. Yeah. So
wow.
Yeah, February 16th, 1945.
Yeah. Man. Doc, you know what? I tell people, I look at the cats ahead of me. That way I know it's possible to do what you do at 80 because you're doing it. Okay?
Yeah.
If you see it, you can be it. And I tell cats behind me, man, don't let them drugs and alcohol get you caught up where you can't live your life, man. You can't live you can't enjoy the fruits of your life.
You can't enjoy. Exactly.
You ain't got to you do what you do because you love doing it, ain't because you got to do it. Okay,
right, exactly.
It's a whole different motivation when you out there because you like doing what you do. And what else you do? I'm gonna play golf. What I'm gonna do? Take up knitting or something? No, I like doing what I do, but I can do it because I can do it and I enjoy doing it, but I don't have to do it. And that's the part that that's what they call the golden years of your life. Okay,
right. And
go ahead.
I used to run all the time and walk all the time, and my wife said, "Why you walk so much?" I say, "I'm walking now so I can walk later." You know, I'm walking in my 60s, so when I get in my 80s and my 90s, I'm walking. You know, I ain't on no cane, I ain't on no walker or nothing like that. And then I was doing an interview the other day, and somebody was asking me about my health and about looking good and everything like that. And then I was saying, well, shoot, I remember. They said, well, how'd you do that? I said, when I was 20, I read a book by Elijah Muhammad, How to Eat to Live. And in that book, he said, eat 1 meal a day. And he said, eat beans. He kept on saying, eat beans, right? And I don't care if you, Donald Trump or Elon Musk or whoever you are, got the most money in the world. If you went to the #1 nutritionist in the world, this is what they all say now. If you want to live long, eat 1 meal a day. They talk about fasting. That's the new thing now. Fasting, eat 1 meal a day and eat beans. You go to any nutrition, they tell you eat beans, eat, you know, vegetables and all that kind of stuff. Elijah Muhammad, I was in my 20s when I was reading that. So he wrote the book even before then. So he's been preaching this for 80 years or more, you know, about how to eat to live. You see the Muslims, they got that smooth skin and everything like that. And so it's not like I was like real strict with it, but I try to live my life and make my eating habits ever since I've been 20, kind of, you know, around Elijah Muhammad's plan and eating the kind of food that he was saying. And then here I am, you know, at this age, and I mean, I might have some cancer somewhere, but it ain't acting ugly, you know. It ain't showing itself. You know what I mean? They say most men our age and my age probably do have prostate cancer, but it's such a slow moving cancer that you probably it'd probably be better not to even get a biopsy or try to deal with it. You know, so I don't know if I do or not, But you know, I'm still getting up, walking, you know, 2 to 4 miles a day, you know, doing my 30, 40 push-ups every day, and you know, just chasing the wife around the bed, you know, trying to catch her. Come here, girl.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna say I'm gonna catch you tomorrow though. But you know what,
yeah.
Doc? I'm a prostate cancer survivor. I had it.
That's what's up.
I had it about 15 years ago, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and a lot of what. And I'm a prostate cancer advocate right now. I go around speaking
Mm-hmm.
about prostate cancer. I do more prostate cancer speaking than I do performing these days. And
Right. Uh-huh.
other doctors I work with, I came up with a theory, and basically the theory is that when you and I were growing up, our mamas cooked meals, full regular
Right.
meals, fresh food, okay? And
Mm-hmm.
because nowadays, well, it used to be a time where prostate cancer was an old man's disease, okay?
Right. Uh-huh.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
old 67 years old, they get prostate cancer, like you say, it's slow
Right.
moving, it don't really bother
Mhm.
nobody. But
Right.
nowadays, I've been consulting cats that's 36, 37 with prostate cancer. And
I
a lot of that,
know. Yeah.
because the food they eat, they started eating junk a lot earlier. I didn't start eating fast food till I was damn near 20 years old.
Yeah.
You know, going to McDonald's, I didn't go to McDonald's on a regular basis until I was, you know, I had a car and girlfriends and stuff. That was the big thing. When I was growing up in Compton, going to McDonald's was a major treat, okay? Major treat. And it was a different burger.
They didn't even have McDonald's when I was growing up. Uh-huh. Right.
See? So you did have McDonald's. You had old McDonald's farm. That's what you had, okay? Old McDonald's
Exactly.
farm. That's what you had. But I didn't have that. So, but nowadays, folks are growing up on fast food, and them
Right.
chemicals give you the chance to affect your body at an earlier age. That's why you got a lot more childhood diabetes and things of that
Mhm.
nature. And prostate cancer is affecting young men, especially young black and brown men, a lot earlier than before. But again,
Right.
yeah, Doc, I'm glad to see you doing great, man. Again, you're an inspiration to cats like me, because you know I got buddies falling off every day. Ain't seen.
I got one of my buddies right now. You know, I'm saying, what you gonna do? You gonna do the seeds, or you gonna get it cut out, or you know, there's so many different methodologies and way to treat it. You know, and then you got to try to find the right one that works for you. You know, yeah.
If you got any problems, let me know. Give him my number. I'll talk to him.
And then you know, and I go to my doctor now. The last 2 doctors I done had at Kaiser, they women doctors, right? So when I was coming up, you know, you go to the doctor and you know, he tell you to bend over and you know, and stick a finger, you know, and try to feel that prostate. But then the women, like my female doctors, he said, well, I don't have long fingers, and so I can't get up there, right? And so, but then they're saying, well, the PSA is the better way to find out. And then some people saying the PSA is not, you know, the end all and the tell all of it. So it's just like trying to figure out, you know, what's the best way to find out if you have it so that you can try to catch it.
But the history behind Altadena itself, it being in a redlining district and things like that, is such a dope history. Can you tell us what, like, because you were living back when that shit was still real, but what do you know about redlining, Lonzo? Can you break that down for us a little bit?
Funny you should ask me about that. You know, I do a lot of documentaries. That's my pastime is documentaries. I just read watched a little documentary about Compton and how Compton was the city of Compton was a major victim of redlining.
Yeah, you told me that last week, and I was like, I didn't put that together back then.
Compton was a major, because what happened was when they built Compton, old man Compton came here. They bought all this land, and it was farmland at first, and it was Compton's like one of the oldest cities in LA County. Okay, and it was all white, predominantly white, and because of all the factories, the shipyards and the aircraft, Compton, it was a farm city, and a lot of black folks started moving in. Okay, you had a lot of Compton was surrounded by industry. General Motors used to make cars right there on Gage. I went there as a kid and watched. We followed the frame. We followed the chassis from the time it got off the damn trailer to the time it rolled off the goddamn assembly line. Took them 20 minutes. We just followed this one chassis. That happened right there on Gage. They showed us where the tires came from off of Florence. My mom and dad met at Douglas Aircraft. My uncle worked at a tire shipyard. There was a lot of labor jobs back in the day. A lot of labor jobs. And Compton that's one of them cities. You couldn't move in Torrance. You ain't never been popular in Torrance. But Compton was one of those places, the houses was cheap. They maybe $5,000, $6,000. Okay. And a lot of black folks moved into Compton. When black folks moved in, white folks moved out. But to keep a hold on Compton, they had what they call redlining. And redlining meant that Compton was a high risk area. And so the banks, if they loaned you money to buy a house, it was either a predatory loan or high interest loan, one to two. There's some bullshit, always some bullshit. And redlining was a big thing, period, in LA. In certain areas, they didn't want your ass in. And they literally had a red line around certain areas in the city. If you live inside this area, we don't want you in here. And if you had an address in this zip code, you might not get the loan you wanted. You might, if somebody else to buy a house in the same area, won't get the same service you get, or vice versa. You get some bullshit, they're gonna get some real shit. And redlining was just another way of discrimination. It was financial discrimination against homeowners, home buyers back in the 60s and sometimes even the 70s. And because so many houses were financed through predatory lending, a lot of houses ended up in foreclosure, and that just sucked all the money out of Compton right before the 80s. That's what happened in the 70s. A lot of jobs went away, a lot of houses got foreclosed, and the banks had these fucked up loans, and that's how Compton became the poverty-stricken place it came at some point in time. Because it used to be a time Compton was really nice, man. I got them memories myself, and I talk about this all the time because before the gangs took over, Compton was super cool, man. It was a nice little. You lived in Compton, nigga, you was proud. If you was from Compton, you was proud, and that's what Compton has been fighting for that reputation again. Although we had to go through the drug and the gang era, and there's a potential for that to happen again, and I can see it. I'm a part of it, and that's why I promote certain things on this show and on my other podcasts. I have a couple of podcasts I do, just community podcasts for my chamber and my channel. So yeah, man, redlining fucked up Compton real good.
You know, you said something so deep right now, Lonzo, and you probably don't even realize it, but you said back then you were proud as a youngster to say that you lived in Compton. Now, if you're young and you're proud to be from Compton, it's probably for negative reasons. Would you say you're proud that you're from the hood? You're proud that, you know what I mean?
You know what? There's a youngsters movement to bring pride back to Compton, and it's being headed up by a young lady. Her name is Erica, and she has an organization called Compton's not was it Compton is safe or Compton's not bad or something like that. I had her on in my newspaper, and I interviewed her, and we talked about how a lot of people had that stigma, and because the news only shows one side of the issue. This fucked up shit happened in every city in America. Ain't no city immune to crime. It's just certain cities, crime is the focus, as opposed to the sub-story. People die in Culver City, people get killed in Torrance, but it's not the headline. But when black folks get killed, it's the headline. Okay, especially if they get killed anywhere in what they call South Central. They had to stop calling it South Central because they had the area was so vast. They had to start specifying where they were talking about. But yeah, if it happens in Compton, a lot of times Compton gets credit for shit that didn't happen in Compton. Compton is surrounded by unincorporated areas. Compton is surrounded by unincorporated areas. Like the Eve After Dark is not in Compton. It's right next to Compton, but it's not in Compton. But if something happened at Eve After Dark, Compton gonna get blamed for it.
Rancho Dominguez.
Rancho Dominguez is not Compton, but people blame, if it happens over there, they're gonna blame Compton for it.
When I was a kid, the Rancho Dominguez house that my aunt still lives in to this day, it was a Compton address. I specifically remember it being Compton in the early 80s. Do you know why a city would move away from the city of Compton and change their name to Rancho Dominguez?
Rancho Dominguez is actually the area that Compton sits in.
Mhm.
Compton was founded by, I forgot his last name was Compton. He gave some land to a guy told me the story. He gave his land to his daughter, and she married a Dominguez, and he renamed a certain section Dominguez. And all that Dominguez Hills, all that is from the same connection, and it was foreclosed or something like that. And that's how it became. It was no longer part of Compton, and it became Dominguez, and they called it Rancho Dominguez. I don't know the exact details, but that's the gist of the story. Because, like I said, one of my buddies, Richard Richardson, he's a Compton historian. He gave me the whole story. But yeah, Dominguez. Everything in Compton is named after a person. Every street in Compton. Rosecrans. It's a Rosecrans family. It's a Compton family. It's a Wilmington family. It's the Alameda family. Every street in Compton, is named after our family. Okay, I tripped out one day and I got the Compton Entertainment Chamber of Commerce. My nuts is hanging out big time. I'm like, you know what, shit? What is a Trag New? What is a Trag New? We need to change the name of the park from Trag New to something else. I did my research. I had to go sit my black ass down. Trag New is Weingart spelled backwards. Weingart Institute, Weingart YMCA. Weingart is one of the most powerful names in LA County. The Weingart family, but for whatever reason, they didn't want he didn't want his name on the park. They put it in anyway, so they reversed it and called it Trag New.
Love hearing stuff like this, man. I learn something new every day on this show, every week on this show. Damn.
Yes, sir. Yes,
all right, man. We got 2 more minutes, man. Any last words? Anything coming up besides Sacramento?
I just got an award. I got awards Friday from Mike Gibson's office, the state assemblyman, for my community service, and I get another award on the 21st of this month at the LA Coliseum from an organization called BizFed for being a change maker award. And I did the video this morning for the acceptance speech, and man, it was really amazing. The one guy, the video guy, I worked with him forever, a couple of times back in the day, but the guy who interviewed me had no idea who I was, and when we got to talking, he was like a big old kid. He just is happy. Man, I didn't know. It just made for an interesting situation. So at some point in time, I'm hoping that I hit the tipping point, man, where I could be. I ain't got to explain who the fuck I am every time I go somewhere.
We're almost there, man. Just keep doing this, and your word's gonna get out there. All right, I gotta hit Harold and Bells, man. Hit him with that outro, Lonzo.
First of all, man, how did you get caught up in the middle of your career? I gotta ask you that. How did you get caught up in the middle of your career, man?
Oh man, dealing with bullshit dudes, man. You know, I was dealing with my relative, and he got caught up in something, and he called and set me up. I hadn't I was out the way. I hadn't seen him in at least a couple years, and you know, he hit me and he set me up. And you know, when you dealing with the federal system, you know, you got to watch it. Whatever you say can get you. Now, true enough, I did get him right, but all they had got me on was a phone call. Yeah, that's what they tied me to. They didn't pull me over. I didn't get caught with nothing. It wasn't nothing like that. It was just that phone call that I had with him that initially put me with the case.
I was telling my boy, he asked me, my partner Dusty, we were talking about that earlier, about that, some of that YSL and some other stuff. I said, I was explaining, a lot of time, cats will set you up to take the time off their back. You know?
Yes, definitely. But see, nowadays, when I was growing up, and back in my days, you get exiled for that.
Okay.
So somebody, they exile you. You was no more allowed in the hood. You was no more allowed. Now it's like they get embraced and going viral, and you know, people looking up to them, and It's like that's what's going on nowadays.
See,
Saying,
we just talked about this before you came on the show, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
I have no respect for somebody that will throw somebody else under the bus and take them away for their family just so they can lessen their time when they knew what they was doing when they got in the game from the get-go. So
Right.
you willing to sacrifice so many other people just for you to come home because you the one that got caught up being sloppy or with however you got caught up. Since you got caught, you just gonna bring down a whole bunch of other people, take them away from their family, and away from what they got going on in life. Yeah,
See,
you don't get no worse than that.
see,
Yeah.
that's totally different what we talked about earlier. Totally different. He working for the police. He just trying to do all the work he can, make their job easier. Okay,
Right.
at your expense. Okay,
Exactly.
Hey,
at your
Scoop,
expense.
Lonzo and I talked about this earlier in the show, and I would love your thoughts on it. I'm pretty sure you've heard about what's been going on with Young Thug over the past week. Footage of an interrogation video, coming out, and allegations of snitching and things like that. What are your thoughts on the recent situation with Young Thug and the whole YSL RICO in general?
Well, it's a lot of things that I wouldn't have did, a lot of things that I wouldn't have said. Me personally, I just came home, so in order for me to really just know who said what, who told what, I would like to see some kind of paperwork. You know what I'm saying? Before I could really just voice an opinion on which one did what. But I know it was a lot of telling in that situation. It was a lot of people telling on each other. It was a lot of things going on. And it was a mockery made even out of the court that I never seen that. Like the courts I was in, them type of mockeries would have got you 35 to life. The way YSL Woody went in there and did what he did and recanted his statements and the sleeping and the all the extra antics he did. Yeah, you couldn't have did that in the federal court. I went to. Yeah, they would have threw the book at him. But as far as what they got going on, I don't know. I just know there's a lot of ratting going on in their cases. But I don't want to pinpoint who all did it because I'm the type that I really like to go off paperwork and facts. I don't like to go off assumptions when it comes to that because you can't put that kind of jacket on somebody's name where I'm from without actually knowing, or that could lead to some consequences.
Let me ask you about your experience. We've got about 5 minutes left, but I would love to know about some of the worst things about prison, because a lot of our show is geared towards, helping kids not go down that route to where they have to sit down for a few years or go into the body bag. What were some of the worst things about prison for you that you can share with these kids so they do not want to go?
The riots, the riots, the violence, the stabbings. I seen a dude overdose on fentanyl. Uh, the way the prison guards treat us, like inhumane. Well, when you get to the lower facilities in the feds, they treat you like that. At the higher facilities, they have more respect for inmates down there. But the water had lead, benzene, cyanide, and different chemicals in it, and that's why I wear a do-rag now, because either the water gave a lot of people kidney failures from drinking it. I didn't drink it, but I had to take showers, so it burnt a lot of my hair out, my edge up, and a lot of people's hair got messed up real bad from having to take showers down there. So I got to go get a hair transplant. So my bed, the ceiling, the roof had mold in it, so the mold made little holes in the ceiling. So every time it rained on my bed and on my locker, and under my bed smelled like mildew because the rug retained the water, so it smelled like mildew. So not only is my bed getting rained on, where it's puddles and big rain, and it's mold on the walls where it make you sick to the stomach, nauseated. They had year-old food in the chow hall. They found the rat's nest in the chow hall with like 400 some rats. When I was in Bastrop, we was right next door to it was a facility that burns roadkill, like dead animals. So every day when you go to chow and to wreck, you smell dead animals all day long, just dead animals. Dead animals. The majority of the days, I can't say every day, but the majority of the days when you're at Bastrop Federal Prison, you smelling dead animals being burnt. So, you know, those are just some of the things that just come with jail. And, um, jail is never a good place. So a lot of these kids and a lot of these people need to take accountability for what they're doing and understand that it's consequences behind every action that you take. So when you think about, if you would stop to think about what you're doing before you do it, you won't have be subject to the things that prison life is about, because you don't want to go in prison and first thing you do is have to go in there and get you a knife, or get you a ratchet and get you a stash spot. That ain't how you want to live. You don't want to be on a bunk, on a hard bunk as is, with a little mat, and then it's getting rained on at the same time. You gotta try to wake up and scoot your bed as far away from the wall as possible so you can get as less rain on you, because I was on the bottom bunk, so at least the top bunk caught some of the rain, but it's still gonna leak down, and it's still coming down the walls, and you can't hide from it. That rain gonna get you. So and I couldn't do nothing about the hair situation. I gotta take a shower. So we gotta bathe in water with lead and poisons in it. You know what I mean? Now, I didn't have to drink the water, but I had to bathe in it. So yeah, it was just bad. Actually, the prison that I was in is actually being closed down. The last prison I was in, Pensacola Federal Prison Camp, is being shut down because I went to war with them. I wrote like 17. I wrote like 17 BPH 9s and 10s. I filed a 2241 habeas corpus on them, and I sued the warden and my case manager. Yeah,
That's
so
what's up.
so I went in.
Wishing you the best in that, man. I wish we can keep you longer, but we do have to wrap up soon. Tell everybody what's next for you and where they can find you.
Man, I'm just working. I'm glad to be home. I'm just back working. I'm shooting a movie with Mike Sterling called Behind the Pole 2. I got some new music dropping. I'm start working on an album. You know what I mean? But I got a reality show going on with Fame Train. I'm just staying busy and just trying to stay blessed and stay out the way. Now you can find me at Scooperstar, T_TMF. That's SCOOPASTAR _ TMF.